For rookie racers, the Bonneville Salt Flats are a place where anything is possible.
That was a blast. I loved it.
Too much fun. Living the dream.
It's expensive.
It might cost a little bit more than I want to admit.
And it's dangerous.
There have been people killed out here.
Whether you bought it,
There's a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda.
or built it,
It's actually the wing tank off a Canadian T-33.
this is your chance to put your foot on the pedal
Fastest I've ever driven was 110. That was in my Subaru.
and find out if you have what it takes
I think he's got the qualities to be a really good driver.
to become a legend on the Salt.
We're as ready as we can be for rookies.
This is the 64th Annual Speed Week. It's organized by the Southern California Timing Association, and it's the biggest event of the year at the Bonneville Speedway.
I know you're all ready to go racing.
It's a place where geology and meteorology have combined to create a perfectly flat, 100% natural, 8-mile-long drag strip of salt. There's more than 500 racers here this week. 100 of them are rookies.
All right, everybody, get in your cars. We're gonna go racing.
Kay Zupan is one of those first-timers.
I'm 26 years old. I'm born and raised in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I am a respiratory therapist.
Her husband, Chad, on the other hand, has been coming to the Bonneville Speedway since he was 5.
We'd make it to the Salt Flats 3 times a year if we could.
His father taught him how to drive and build race cars.
Me and him built this together in 2004.
It's a classic roadster body with a motor they ripped out of a Ford Pinto. Chad already holds the world record for this class of car, so the young couple have something different in mind this year.
Our plans are to get her a record.
It's set at 166.999. So if I go 167, I'll break it. Yeah.
It's an ambitious goal for someone that has never raced before.
I've gone 110 in my car.
That's 110 miles an hour in a Subaru on the highway. This will be a little different.
I'm just gonna shake the car out, make sure everything runs right, and then make sure everything's safe, and we'll put her in it.
On course 2, car 1727. Chad Zupan is the driver. Sounds like shut it down just about to 1 mile.
I got an exhaust temperature in here that was starting to get pretty hot, so I figured we better shut it down. And if you burn too hot, you're gonna melt the piston.
It's a reminder for Kay that there are a lot of things to pay attention to while driving.
Watching the exhaust temperature, the engine RPM, the water gauge, the oil pressure. So we got a few things to do.
Up until now, all of Kay's training has been with the car parked.
Just in the garage, get all suited up, sit in there, go through the whole startup and shut down. So I should be ready for tomorrow.
Correcting the exhaust temperature only requires a minor tweak.
It's always minor if it's still running.
Yeah.
Kay will get her first chance to drive on the Salt in the morning. Bob Daly is another first-time driver. He isn't your typical gearhead. He's a retired accountant from Seattle. Bob came to Bonneville as a spectator a few years ago and got bit by the salt bug.
This is a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda, and I've got this small slant 6 motor in it to put it into the F motor class.
At Speed Week, engines are classed by size. F class includes anything between 2 and 3 liters. It's the smallest group of engines for production cars. He's brought this car because it fits in a category where there is no record on the books.
On an open record, whatever I run would qualify for a record. Then I'd go into impound, and the next day you back up your record.
The average of his 2 runs would become the new world record for classic production car with an F-size motor. But none of that can happen if his 46-year-old car doesn't pass the required safety inspection. Tom Raz's car is only 2 years old. He built it himself in his shop in Calgary.
We thought, let's go back to the roots, and for us that was the ultimate hot rod, which was a belly tank, a Lakester. It dates back to after the war, when the guys came back. You know, they were looking for fun things to do, and those tanks were very aerodynamic, so they thought, hey, this would make a great car for speed.
Tom has built his out of the wing tank from a Canadian warplane, the CT-133, a plane that was used to train new pilots in the 1950s. He isn't going to war, but he has almost as much to learn as those young pilots did.
Never driven this car yet. It's its inaugural run. So the fastest to date, I think, was being towed at 30 miles an hour.
He'll need to go a lot faster than that if he wants to do something truly historic.
The record for the class is 196 and change. You know, 197 would certainly give us a new record. So that would be a big, big record to do that.
Kay Zupan's week of racing has already hit a speed bump. Her husband Chad took the car for a shakedown run on day 1 and discovered a problem.
I had the cam timing off. I did it in the garage at the last minute and, you know, screwed it up.
After turning a few wrenches in the pits, he thinks he's got it solved.
Okay. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm gonna get in it and make another shakedown run and make sure it's good to go so she won't have any problems on her first run.
Kay is trying to break her husband's record of 167 miles an hour.
Chad, he was just kind of throwing the idea around last year after Speed Week, and I told him, no, I won't race it. I'm too scared. I'm way too scared. Then I got thinking about it. I thought I better jump on the opportunity and try to race and get a record, and there's tons of people that want to do this and can't.
It's a brave endeavor for someone who has never raced and has a very limited knowledge of how the car even works.
He's explained it to me, yeah. I have a general understanding, but it's not very in-depth or anything. Good luck, Kenny. Have a good run.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
Okay, see you, babe.
Chad's second trip down the track brings good news.
Just made a mild run. Everything seems to be safe, and we're gonna let the wife jump in it and give it a try.
Kay and Chad Zupan are newlyweds. They've come to Bonneville to race the car that brought them together.
We met at a car show.
It's a car show I go to every year with my dad, and he said, oh, let's go talk to these guys. I built some parts for their car, and we went over there, and that's when Chad and I met, and it was all over from there.
When they decided to get married, they got their engagement photos taken right here on the Salt.
Cars look so cool out here, so I figured why don't people look just as cool, you know?
But this year, it's not about looking good. It's about driving fast and getting Kay into the record books. For most first-timers, the focus isn't on setting records. They're just trying to get their car on the track. Vehicles that have never raced here before have to undergo a rigorous inspection. This is known simply as tech. The lineups are long. Cars and drivers spend many hours waiting in the hot sun. And it's a nervous wait. The technical inspectors are the judge and jury out here. If they say your vehicle is not safe to drive, then you either make some hasty repairs or you go home. Sometimes the news is good.
The only problem we have now is you have no excuse not to go racing.
Not every car gets off so easily.
So should we pull up to this pop-up canopy here?
Actually, you'd be off to the right by the yellow sign for the new car.
Okay, thank you.
Bob Daly has brought a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda. He's competing in a class with an open record.
That means that for the given class, nobody's ever in a car in the class before.
It sounds like an easy way to get your name into the record books. But you can't get a record if they won't let you race.
They're going to look at the roll cage, they're going to look at the welds, there's paneling in between the bars. I mean, there's just tons of stuff that they look at. Heads up! Coming in.
We've got about 3 or 4 guys here that are going to go over the whole car.
Tech inspection is all about safety. Most of it is pretty straightforward.
You got a fire extinguisher in there?
Yes.
Okay. And is it a good size? Nice
yeah,
one?
It's a 4 or 5 pounds, 5 pounds.
The rules are flexible because every car is unique.
We would probably let you run it this way because the battery is isolated from the cockpit.
Some things are non-negotiable.
On this helmet, it's got to be 3 more inches out on both sides.
There's a device on the seat that comes around like this, and they have a specification on how far forward your helmet can come from that. That's to keep your head from coming loose in case of a crash, so we have to find some way of extending it.
We're going to want to look at it again.
That means Bob has some work to do before he can go racing. Kay Zupan is a nurse from nearby Salt Lake City, Utah. She's never raced before, but today she's going to try and break her husband's world record of 167 miles an hour in his homemade hot rod. First, it needs a couple modifications.
She can't reach my shifter with her arm restraint on, so we had to put a bend in it, you know, so she's able to reach it.
She also gets her own seat.
Pretty much all we had to do because I have such long legs that the pedals and stuff weren't an issue.
The car is entered in an open fuel category, so you can pour anything you want into the tank. Chad mixes his own. For Kay's first trip down the track, he's putting in 60% alcohol and 40% nitromethane. He's starting her off with a conservative mixture because he knows how quickly things can go bad.
We could have a fire, something major could go wrong, we could flip the car over. There have been people killed out here, but not very many. You know, something bad could happen. You take that chance as a race car driver.
For Kay, everything about being a race car driver is new, even getting dressed.
You tickled me.
Sorry. I think she's got the qualities to be a really good driver. You know, as far as driving on the road, I'm scared to drive with most women. She doesn't scare me, so.
This first run is to prove to the race officials that she can handle the car at high speed. She has to go 125 miles an hour to earn her rookie license. It's also to settle her nerves.
Well, that one's steady. This one shakes.
Okay, sit.
This is not just her first time driving a race car. It's her first time driving with a stick shift.
You can push in the clutch, put it in first gear, and then when you feel comfortable, take off.
Oh, it'll be in neutral.
Kay's Subaru is an automatic. This is a 4-speed.
So you feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you still want to do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay. You ready? Go. Oh, shit. Put it in neutral. I'm gonna push you off the course. Oh, we didn't get a good enough push on her and she let the clutch out too early. So she just kind of jumped the gun. We'll go back and try it again. No big deal.
Well, so what happened?
You left way too early.
Well, I was trying to put it in first.
Did you have the clutch on?
Yeah. That's what we said. When you start pushing me, I'm going to put it in first.
Yeah, but you must have let the clutch out because it went boom. You know, we needed to start pushing you a while.
You never told me that. You didn't say hold the clutch in.
After the false start, Chad makes a quick check of the engine. He wants to make sure there's no residual fuel in the cylinders. That could cause an explosion when they restart. Then it's back to the starting line.
Feel a lot better now. that got all my jitters out. Because just getting strapped in and sitting there at the starting line, you know, really was nerve-wracking.
Just go as fast as you feel comfortable going. If you don't feel comfortable going fast, don't do it.
Okay.
You know. Sounds really good. Sounds like she's making her shifts okay, so I think we're in business. I'm excited as hell for her. Pretty neat.
Chad finds Kay 3.5 miles away, safe and happy.
I was having way too much fun. That was a blast. I loved it.
Kay's first run also takes care of a paperwork issue.
You went 137.
Oh, yay, I got my license.
That means she's now free to take a shot at her husband's record on the long course.
I mean, I did it.
We'll do it.
I can drive it.
Yeah, that's good.
While Kay is having the time of her life on the salt, Tom Raz is still trying to get his car out of the pits.
This is your vintage class Lakester. It's actually the wing tank off a Canadian T-33 jet trainer.
Tom's home-built Lakester has to go through the same tech inspections as Bob's production class car did.
We basically have two small little things to fix and everything was perfect.
It's one change to the car and one shopping trip for Tom.
We have a 6-point seat harness, which they don't really like, so we got to have to change to 7. And actually just got to have the fireproof underwear for the suit, which we got to go pick up here. So other than that, we're good to go.
Kay Zupan has a lot of work to do if she's going to set a land speed record at the Bonneville Salt Flats this week, starting with a steering lesson.
When I put it in first, I felt a little wiggle because my arm would move when I would shift. And so same thing happened in second and in third. And so when I got going faster, I was scared to shift into fourth because I didn't want to do that going at that speed.
Her husband, Chad, has been racing on the salt for 10 years, 5 of them in this very car.
What I would do is just kind of grab it super loosely.
Up here?
Yeah, or wherever it feels comfortable. I mean, if you feel comfortable with it right there, that's fine.
Not like this.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, because every time, you know, every time you're going to turn it a hair, it's going to...
Kay earned her rookie license yesterday, so now she's allowed to race on the long course, a legendary strip of salt where the best drivers in history have set records.
We're just going to see if she feels comfortable in the car. You know, hopefully go maybe around 150 range.
If I don't like it, I'll just stop. Get out of it. And I might love it and go and go and go.
On course 2, car 1727. They've made a driver change. It's now Kay Zupan behind the wheel. Times. Let's see here. 142 the 1. 149 at the 2. 149, 561 is her top speed. Well done, young lady.
It was fun, but it was scary. But I got it into fourth and I got on a return road. That's what I was aiming for.
Well, we ain't got any parts hanging out and it ain't on fire, so I guess we're okay.
Kay has made 2 high-speed runs, but she'll have to go a full 20 miles an hour faster to break the record. Pushing the car that hard is a frightening proposition.
I've had tons of fun and I recommend it to anybody, but I might just let Chad break his own record this week. I don't know.
It's a big decision for the young couple.
What do you think? Do you just want to go for your record?
No.
I'd be totally fine
No,
with that.
I think we ought to just keep running you like this.
Really?
Yeah, if you want to keep going, let's just keep running you like this.
Kay has the afternoon to decide if she wants to hang up her helmet or keep chasing the record. One of the big eye-openers for first-time racers is how isolated the Bonneville Salt Flats are.
They provide this track and this facility, but short of that, you're on your own. You know, you got to make sure that you got food, you got water, you're well hydrated, you got shade. Who would have thought you could screw lag bolts into salt? It's not just about getting the car here and that, but it's all the associated support that goes along with it, like the tools and, you know, all that other stuff. That was a way bigger than we realized it would be.
That's where the community of land speed racers really shines. You might feel like you just got dropped off on the surface of the moon, but at least you aren't alone.
It's amazing. People come up and chat, introduce themselves. If you need help, whatever, you know, anybody will help you.
This morning, a visitor to Tom's Pits brings good news about his safety harness.
This is the UK buckle, which I also carry, so my tongue should just go straight into yours.
No problem solved. Let's go.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you in a bit.
Just bring it up. We'll fix it for you.
Awesome.
That means the only thing stopping Tom from becoming a real Bonneville racer is his underwear. Bob Daly's run for a record has been derailed by something a little more serious than underwear. His head restraints are 3 inches too short. That means in a crash, his head could bounce all over the car.
Yeah, we're working on it.
A couple of straight pieces of metal bolted in the right place will keep that from happening. Once he rounds off the corners and puts some padding on them, he'll be ready to race. Tom Raz built a race car.
It's a belly tank Lakester. It's basically the wing tank off a 50s T-33 Canadian jet trainer.
He's toted 2,500 miles from Calgary to Bonneville. Now he's almost ready to hit the salt. There's only one thing left on his to-do list.
Can I help you?
I need some underwear.
Okay.
That's what they're telling me anyway.
You want pants and
Top.
bottom. So
Yes.
you're gonna be medium and I guess large.
Large.
After we get different kind of color. We get black and white, full black or full white.
Full white. There you go, look at that. Ready to go.
It's not cheap. But if you're going to go 200 miles an hour sitting inside an old fuel tank with wheels, you want the best fire protection you can get.
Here it is. Thank you very much, sir. Enjoy it.
Will do.
Enjoy the week.
It'll be great.
I hope for you.
Back home in Calgary, Alberta, Tom Raz is just a regular guy, a family man and a business owner. But today, he's living out a dream.
This is the first time we've driven the car into power. I'm just gonna go and see how it feels. If it feels good, it'll go faster. If it's still good, I'll go a little faster. Now?
Yeah.
On course 4, car 1957. This is a rookie run. Driver is Tom Raz from Calgary up in Canada. It's a Lakester. Let's see what his time is. 1:31. Well done by Tom Raz. That'll get him his rookie license.
It's a dream come true. I mean, lots of people would love to do this or say they will, but how many actually do it? I think it's very few. And, you know, it's just another thing off my bucket list, for sure.
Tom has done what he came to do. Race a car he built with his own hands across the legendary salt flats of Bonneville. And there's even a few days left for him to take a shot at a record. Kay Zupan, meanwhile, is considering whether or not her goal is worth pursuing. Her first 2 runs had her considering shutting it down.
I did better this time than last time already. It was only my second run. So, I don't know.
I got trophies on my mantle, you know. Nothing more I'd love to see than her break my record.
Kay decides to take one more shot at breaking her husband's record. To make that possible, Chad's putting a little extra oomph in the tank.
This is just a hydrometer. It just weighs the specific gravity of the fuel. You want to check the temperature and the weight of it, and then that'll tell you, go to your chart, and then that'll tell you what percentage of nitro you're running.
He's combining nitromethane with alcohol to create a very volatile racing fuel.
We're just mixing a little higher percentage right now. We're gonna make her go a little bit faster.
I asked him how fast would it go with 70% in it, and he said, oh, about 168. And I said, oh, it's only 18 miles per hour faster. Let's do it. Might as well, huh?
Yep. The big difference is going to be from your first gear change to your second gear change. You're really going to feel a boost in your butt, that's for sure. It'll get up and go in the RPM range a lot faster.
All right, sounds good.
So hang on and go fast.
Okay, I will.
Course 2, car number 1727, running on a record of 167. Speed at the 1 mile, 140. At the 2 mile, 148. At the 3, it's 151, 851. That's not going to get it done.
What'd you think of that?
I had it pinned, baby. It was down to the floor and it wasn't going any faster.
Really?
It wouldn't go any faster. I kept like, you know, pushing with my foot. I'm like, is it down all the way? After that run, yeah, I definitely want to go for the record. Yeah.
Kay's driving was perfect, which forces Chad to admit he's been deliberately holding the car back.
You know, the jet I had in there's for about a 75% mixture.
That means the car wasn't using all of its power.
I just wanted to make sure we were going to be safe. Make sure you're watching the gauges, because I didn't want to get it right on the money and have you not watch the gauge.
Next time, there will be no holding back.
You're doing an awesome job.
Awesome, honey. Had a good teacher.
Yeah.
Bob Daly is racing in a class where there is no record holder.
Oh, this is nice and cozy.
It's an open record, considered easy pickings by more experienced racers.
Okay, so go ahead and cinch it from there. Just as tight as it'll go.
But this first-time driver is still a bundle of nerves.
Okay, time to get in, isn't it? It is, yeah.
Bob has invested a lot of time into this, not to mention a good portion of his retirement fund, all with the simple plan of driving perfectly straight for 2 miles at roughly double the highway speed limit. The problem is his car and the engine are more than 50 years old, and they weren't built with these speeds in mind.
Thank you. How we doing? Good evening. Ready to run? Yes, I am. So down to the 2 and off to the right. Yes.
This is the moment he's been dreaming of. Bob's first run is an eye-opener.
Well, the car was kind of squirrely around. It was really felt to me like it could have gone into a spin pretty easy, but I, just tried to keep it as steady as possible.
Poor traction he can deal with. His engine is a more serious concern.
The motor started cutting out on me a little bit and kind of took the power off anyway, so nothing bad happened.
He topped out at 111 miles an hour, qualifying him for a new world record.
We're pretty happy. Might have some issues with the motor again, though, so we got to see if we're going to be able to run tomorrow.
If he can't make a repeat run, his first result will be tossed out and there will be no world record.
You're all set.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Good job.
There's a lot of work to do, and the clock is ticking.
Let's go.
The rules are simple. You can do anything you need to do to prepare the car for its second run. But you have to do it in the impound yard, and you have to get it done within 4 hours.
I was trying to increase speed up to about 5,500 RPMs, and at some point it just kind of went flat, and then it started sagging down to 5,000 and 4,500 and misfiring a little bit, so we've got to figure that out.
When an engine loses its power, there's plenty of possible culprits.
Just giving everything a once-over to make sure everything's where it's supposed to be.
The first place they look is at the rocker arms, which have been a recurring problem.
Nothing, and that's good.
Okay, so why did it just flatten out?
The next possibility is the cylinders. A simple compression test will show if they're holding any pressure.
160 on that one. All right, Bob, go ahead again. Holy moly, 45 there. I'm gonna write these down. They're all over the map, aren't they? Oh yeah, we got issues. Yeah. Number 1 was 0.
Zero compression means the cylinder and the rings are leaking.
We've got a 5-cylinder.
Okay, so what do we do? I mean, is the motor toast?
You're done. You're done.
Can't even run it on 5 cylinders and sacrifice.
Well, I mean, you're lucky it didn't pull the top off a piston and grenade that thing.
That's pretty disappointing. I mean, we got this far. All we had to do was make one more run down the course. Didn't matter if it was 50 miles an hour. Cheers. Next time.
It's a painful reminder of how hard the salt flats can be on first-timers.
Got through the rookie thing and been strapped in and made it down the course, so learned a lot. We can regroup and bigger and better for next year.
Setting a land speed record on the Bonneville Salt Flats is tough. Tom Raz has been running his homemade Lakester for 3 days.
Our first run was 131, our second was 134, our third was 148, and we'll see what this one is. I think we cracked the 150.
The record in his class is 196. It's becoming clear he won't get there this week. Kay Zupan, on the other hand, is getting close. And today she's got some added support.
My dad came in today to watch me race.
Her father used to bring her to the local racetrack when she was young, but he never imagined she'd end up in the driver's seat.
She used to always fall asleep. Doesn't matter what kind of racing it was, she would fall asleep. It was the funniest damn thing.
There'll be no falling asleep on this run. Chad has boosted the percentage of nitrous methane one more time.
The first couple runs we just put 40% in it, you know, just kept it real safe. And then the last run we put about 63% in it, and I ran it really rich just to be on the safe side. This run we're, you know, running it a little more on the edge, so it should pick it up quite a bit. Keep her safe and go fast, and hopefully she'll have fun.
164, I heard.
166.5.
166.5?
Yeah, she barely missed it.
I had it floored. I checked.
So we're damn close.
We're damn close, and I felt fine at that speed. I wasn't
big deal.
I wasn't like freaking out because I was going faster. I actually thought I was going slower.
It's awesome. She deserves a high.
Yeah, I'm way close. Yeah, I want it.
I think we'll just up the percentage a little and try it again.
The course is open for racing until 7 o'clock. It's now 6:15, just enough time for one more run.
Okay, here's the goods.
Mixing racing fuel is not something you want to rush.
Smells like nitro now.
You're handling dangerous chemicals, and you have to do math.
We're calling it 100 degrees, or are we gonna
call it closer to 90 degrees?
77.
77%? Let's just throw it in the tank and see what we end up with.
Okay. Wanted to fill it.
Chad's new mixture is 77% nitro. He's combining that with the fuel still in the tank, which was 66%, hoping to find the perfect formula.
I mean, it's just a big bomb going off every time it lights, you know? You just have to have a super hot spark to light it.
71 and 73.
It's between 71 and 73.
So we got about 72 in it. Okay. You want to call it good?
Yeah, I think we're right there.
Running with a more aggressive fuel should make the car go faster, but it will also run hotter. That means Kay will have to pay close attention to the temperature gauge.
On course 2, car 1727. Driver is Kay Zupan. One mile, 160. 2 mile, 165. She's got a good run going here.
Five miles down the course, Kay brings the car to a stop. She knows it was a good run, but not if it was good enough for a record. The only person with the answer is her husband, Chad.
Hell yes.
What was it?
169.
Woo!
Good job.
It went right to the line, honey.
Good.
Excellent. I watched it because it went. Handshake.
Everyone is in the mood to celebrate, but they're really only halfway there.
Second run definitely is a tougher one.
So did the shift light come on?
A few times.
Kay has to make a backup run as soon as the track opens in the morning to claim the new world record.
And then there's decisions to make in the morning. The air's gonna be really good, so do I richen it up? Do I just leave it?
Chad has all night to ponder that decision. It's 6:30 a.m. in the impound yard. There's 32 vehicles getting ready for their biggest run of the week. Every one of them went faster than the world record in their class yesterday. And every one of them is hoping to repeat that feat today.
Mom, will you run to the pit and get us some WD-40 so we can lube all this throttle?
Chad and Kay have woken up to a mechanical problem. The throttle is sticking. It's like having the gas pedal floored and not being able to release it.
We could go out of control, you know, possibly blow up a motor for sure, but hopefully that doesn't happen. we're gonna try and do our best to prevent that right now, but we only got a limited amount of time, so we'll try and hurry and do what we can do. So.
Repairing the throttle on a car your wife is about to drive at top speed is stressful work.
Oh shit, I just pulled that coil wire off.
Even more so when the clock is ticking.
You guys have got 1 minute to get out of here, so work on at the starting line.
We're going now, okay?
Chad's prediction about the second run being harder is coming true.
We got all week to qualify it, and if something's wrong, you got an hour to fix it, and if you can't fix it, you're SOL.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Have a great, safe ride. There's no bumps, no holes.
Awesome.
Just fast salt.
Thanks.
Pretty nervous. Hopefully she'll do good. Hopefully the car starts okay and we'll be on our way. So.
They've gotten this far with only minor mechanical problems. But now that they've got a sticky throttle, Kay's final instructions take on a new tone.
If you see smoke or fire, pull the motor.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, get the chute out. Stop as fast as you can.
Yeah.
This is the most important thing.
You have a safe, fast run. See you on the other side.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Come on, honey. Come on, babe. Hell yes.
It's a new world record for Bonneville's newest driver.
Sweet.
Kay hits almost 172 miles an hour, a full 5 miles faster than what Chad ran last year.
We got it, Jimmy! Oh my God, Chad's gonna be happy because he's like, I want to see 170. We got 171. Holy shnikes! Good job, sweetie. Oh my God! Now we can have mimosas and muffins. Thank God.
Good job, babe. We did it.
Oh, sweet. Thanks,
Good job. Well, we got the average over 170.
Hell yes. Honey, I never looked at the gauge.
You didn't? Well, we still got a motor, it looks like, so who cares? Then we got a record.
Who cares what the temp was?
Yeah, we got a whole year to rebuild it.
Chad's father, who built this car, raced for 10 years at Bonneville before he set a record. Kay did it in her first week.
6 passes. 1 week. But that's because Chad had the record last year, so he knew what to put in it. He knew what was going on, so it was all tuned ready for me. He got the record as much as I did today. I'll get to put a trophy on the shelf of his trophies from out here. I'll have one now, so that's really cool.
Every year, dozens of rookie drivers show up at Bonneville Speed Week with dreams of racing on the salt. Some of them leave brokenhearted. Some catch salt fever and vow to be back next year better prepared. But a lucky few go home with their name in the record books.
Cheers to 170.